My bad. I didn't realize that you were telling me to mic check.
I mean, that's a general mic check for everyone.
Yeah,
usually.
You're
good.
Snapchatting back my little sister, dude, because we got a long streak going and got to make sure it doesn't just end.
I'm fucking gay, dude.
Why is that gay? That's my little sister.
Bro, it's not. That's not the gay part about it. It's the keeping the streak alive.
Well, yeah, dude. She's the one who started it. All right? I'm sorry that I do things for my little sister, bro.
Hit record.
Who I don't get to see that often anymore because she lives all the way in California.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Hell yeah, brother.
Can't do shit without fucking it being gay, dude. I don't have a streak with anybody else. I've never cared about a Snapchat streak with anybody.
Yeah.
But I'll keep it alive for my little sister.
Right on.
Well, that's
brother.
good, man.
Yeah. Not very gay now, is it?
No, it's still super gay, dude. That's kind of the gayest thing we probably said yet.
Really? Is it?
Might be.
I remember having a whole
don't
conversation about how we wash our asses in the shower.
Now that's kind of gay.
Yeah. Kind of a gay conversation, yeah.
Well, Buster's
I think
racist, so.
The context was like you guys were in a sports locker room, but I mean, if you're gay, then wouldn't you be checking out the dudes?
I mean, maybe.
But that wasn't a part of the conversation, so.
Wait, what? I'm lost now.
I'm lost now, too. It's early, man.
For real. I bet you guys didn't even think I was going to make it today, did you?
No.
I was thinking, I'm like, ooh, he might not be able to make that. 10 a.m.
Listen, it's only hard when I'm serving. You know what I fucking hate? I fucking hate those so much. Like, obviously, sometimes they're joking, but motherfuckers will actually say it, and it really pisses me off. I might have talked about this before on here, but when motherfuckers, like, when I'm like, oh, I just woke up, and they're like, damn, this guy is lazy. God, that shit makes me want to fucking flip my shit. I fucking hate getting called lazy, dude. In some senses, I am lazy. Like, after I get off work and it's that late, I'm like, no, I'm not doing shit else. I gotta take care of my animals. I might do laundry. Might. And that's if I need to do it. But it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go and sit down. Listen to this shit, all right? There's this bitch who's like, I'm not gonna make fun of her or anything like that. Like, there's dudes I've gone out to Topgolf with that been like, she's bad, but she's like pretty big, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and she got a lot in the right places, to be fair. But like, she a pretty big girl.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it the other night because we were talking about drinking, me and another chick. And I was like, yeah, sometimes it's just hard. Like, I go home after working my ass off, like, and it's not that hard of a job serving. It's really not. But I work hard. And I'm like, sometimes it's just difficult to be like, why not have a beer? Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't have kids. I don't have, like, a girlfriend that I live with that I come home to every day, so I don't have that responsibility. Yeah. And I can absolutely take care of a dog and a cat while I'm intoxicated. In fact, I can take care of 5 dogs and a cat while intoxicated. Speaking of cats. And she's like, well, you could get a hobby. And I was like, girl, I got hobbies. I'm like, what fucking, not the chick I was talking to, the bigger chick came into the conversation. Yeah. She's like, you could try getting a hobby. I'm like, you know, I got hobbies. What fucking new hobby you want me to pick up at 1 o'clock in the morning? And she's like, you could go to the gym. I'm like, I had to hold it back because instantly, I was about to just be like, bitch, you go to a fucking gym. What the fuck are we talking about here? You take the elevator at work. I never take the elevator. I always take the stairs. And I'll run up the stairs. Even when I was delivering for like GoPuff years ago in 2021, I was delivering for GoPuff. I would have a delivery on the 12th floor and I would never take the elevator. Ever. Didn't matter how many bags it was, would never take it. Because it's like doing those things and being that way and being like, oh, I'm not going to look for front row parking. I'm going to park farther back at the store. And just those little simple things add up so much. And it is the best way that I maintain my weight. You wonder, how do I not stop drinking and I still sometimes eat like shit? It's like, how does Lauren maintain his weight? It's not because I do some week-long no-carb diet. It's because I take every opportunity I can get in those small, regular day activities to be like, okay, this is exercise.
Yeah.
So if I load the car a little bit faster, it's a little bit harder work. This fucking big bitch, dude. I'm like, I'll go deadlift 275 at least right now. All right? You give me some straps, I could do 275 for some reps. I'm not going to say it won't hurt. I will squat 300 pounds today. Not going to say it's going to look pretty, and I'm not, my knees might be snap, crackling, and popping, but I'll fucking do it. That bitch look like she walk on a treadmill every morning for 25 minutes at a slight incline.
That's delusional, man. Delusional.
That shit made me so... It just had me so heated. She always walking around not smiling, too. And she always just look angry. It's like, I can't fucking believe you.
You know, one time I had this chick at work who's bigger. And, like, one of the perks is, like, they serve breakfast and lunch because it's, like, a big campus-type deal, and I'm just the janitor there.
You know, you do give me janitor vibes.
I do have the janitor vibes for sure.
The janitor that doesn't like anybody and nobody likes them. Though.
Oh, well.
Because you always have that one school janitor that everybody knows and they're like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like I get along with people, but yeah, I'm an antisocial. I'm an introvert, so yeah, I keep it minimum for sure.
You're cleaning the bathrooms like, these fucking kids. Dude, these fucking
Dude, I thought about working at schools and I was like, fuck, like working around kids. Like, adults are fine, but fucking. But anyways, I was getting breakfast. I had a bigger breakfast. I was hungry. I might have smoked them that morning, so I was, I had the appetite with me. And this bigger chick's like, "Oh, you have a big breakfast today." I was like, "Fuck you."
You should have been like, "Well, you're big every day."
What? Just because you're not eating 5 pancakes? I wasn't eating.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, you can talk about me being short. You can talk about me being bald. Those things are things that I can't. Well, I'm not bald, but you know what I mean? You talk about my bald spot and my fucking hairline that's disappearing. It is what it is, bro. It's like, and I'm not the most in shape motherfucker either. But it's like, dude, you get me out wrestling with these fat fucks that say shit like that, wrestling, playing soccer, playing football. It's like, I'm going to dust you. Not just in speed and overall ability, but my endurance and as a whole. I get tired. I'm heavy breathing. I'm back on the line like, okay, let's go, another rep. And your fat ass will be like, I'm cramping. Those real fat fucks like that just fucking make me mad, bro.
It's always something.
Especially when they talk like a fat ass dude that talks about fighting. I'm like, dude, you're so fat that not only will you be winded within 45 seconds, you're so fat that I'm going to see every punch that you attempt to throw at me. Every single one. That's how fat you are. Your body starts moving before you even actually throw it.
Yeah. I'm trying to get more into working out, but I mean, the problem is like when you're not working out, you don't have a lot of energy. So you have to like really fight to like fucking get to that point, and that's the like cycle I'm in. There's
this level when you start working out where you're just like, you feel like it's draining your energy levels because it is in a sense, but like it's like once you get more into it and you get deeper, which I haven't worked out in like 2 months. But once you work into it and get deeper, it actually starts feeding your energy.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what I hear. But, like it's hard. Like, I'm on my feet all day. I'm like bending up and down. Like, I'm not like working out, but like I feel pretty fucking dog tired at the end of every day, Like I could go out in the morning, I guess, and do a workout, but I don't know. It'd be hard. It's good. It's something I need to get into, but.
A person like you, dude, shoot for like 30 minutes every day. Because me, I have experience And I had a time where I was performing at like what I would say would be a fairly high level, especially for your average man. You know, I was working out 5 to 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. Sometimes I'd hit a 2 a day. So like 4 hours of working out, and I was in great shape. And it's like every time now where I start getting back into the flow, I want to go back to being that guy. And it's ruined me because then I overdo it. I'm like, Lauren, you don't need to work out for 2 hours a day to make some gains. Like, you can just start with 30 to 45 minutes a day, all right, until you're back in shape. But you know what I'm saying? I always want it right then, right now, and it burns me the fuck out.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing, too. Like, I talked to that one fitness guy on the podcast a while ago, Sean C.A., and he has talked about how he has that problem where, like, he'll go too hard and he'll have to, like, stop himself. And like I knew a kid in cross country who like he had to stop running because he would run like 5 miles every like 7 days a week, 5 miles, and it got to the point where the bone in his leg like whittled away, and he was like he couldn't do it. Like the doctors were like, you have to stop running. Yeah, like it's kind of in a way it almost becomes like an addiction. So it's like it's a fine balance, right? And like the addict to me is always like. It's a shitty, stupid excuse. I know that, but the addict to me is always like, you know, I could get to that point, right? In theory, like if I just went like so hard in the paint that like I literally was breaking myself down, you know. I don't know.
But I mean, essentially everything we do in our human existence breaks us down in one manner or another. You know what I mean? I mean, like we're living to die. Like, I mean, like daily, you're slowly just withering away. But I don't think that working out would be the best or the worst way to.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, like that versus like, you know, eating a bag of donuts. Like, yeah, obviously that's going to be the better choice. But
yeah, I'd rather be like, yeah, my feet don't work anymore because I loved running so much, rather than be like, yeah, I lost my feet because I ate too many fucking donuts. I feel like the scales are very unbalanced there.
See, now you're getting the concept of the half glass, half full. Now you're finally starting to get it, Lolo.
How does that compare?
We're just kidding. No. Yeah, we're going to leave it there.
You know, most of the people in the comments seemed like they were defending me. You know that? Most of the people in the comments felt like they were on my side. Well, they're like, no, he clearly understands it. He just thinks it's a dumb question. I give broad answers. I mean, I look at the details of things. That's a very undetailed, super... Go back to shaming fat people.
It would be
I don't think I should shame somebody for just simply being fat. Just shaming somebody for being fat, there's no sense, right? Like, you shouldn't be like, oh, hey, you shouldn't wear that. You're fat. Fuck it. But if a fat motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? I do think there is points where you should put them in their place. Like some big-ass chick that's like, oh, no, we don't get down with short guys. It's like, okay, cool. I didn't want to get down with you. You're 5 times my fucking size.
Yeah. Well, I think there's kind of a point where fat shaming is just ineffective. Like, if you're someone who's getting beat down like so much, like you're just not gonna like you're gonna be like, okay, it's easier for me to like continue down this road than like actually reverse. Like, I think there's something to like, you gotta like positively motivate someone if you really want results. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel.
Exactly. It's like just shaming fat people, like
shaming for the sake of shaming. But yeah, there are times
because a big girl decided to wear a 2-piece.
Making an effort to better themselves, then you quit shaming them, you encourage them. But
even if they're not making it, you don't.
Context of some fat bitch is like being a bitch, then yeah, shame the fuck out of them for being a fucking bitch.
Nah, not just for being a bitch in general.
If it's specifically about the weight aspect, I think,
or like what I said, for example, like the height thing. Yeah, right? It's just like, girl, like people can't change that. It's like, you know, at that point, it's like chill. All right, if you're talking to like you're better than somebody, then yeah, I think it's okay to take a target at something that they could change.
Where I was coming from was how you mentioned that she said that you needed to go to the gym, but in her own person, she was a fat fuck.
Yeah, projecting.
Yeah. Yes.
Which I wouldn't say she's a fat fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's just kind of what it came off.
She definitely got more going on than I do in that category.
The way you described it is how I interpreted it.
Yeah, okay. Calling back to that situation, absolutely.
That's fair.
But I was at work, dude. I can't be saying rude shit when I'm at work like that. Why not? Well, because it's just not that type of environment.
Yeah.
Working for more of a corporate spot.
It's
like
hard.
I have 4 jobs in total. And 2 of those jobs aren't as corporatized. And I can do things. Like I'm not afraid to fucking smoke and show up to work.
Yeah.
But then the other 2 jobs, I don't do that. Like DJing weddings, I don't drink before work. I don't smoke before work.
Yeah.
Locked in. But that's also because it's like, you know, you can't, there's small, very little room for error. You fuck up somebody's ceremony, no turning back.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
I mean,
level pressure.
Yeah, they spent thousands of dollars. It's supposed to be there one day. The last thing I want to do is make a fucking bride angry.
Yeah. Operating in the corporate world it's a lot harder to fuck. You got to kind of tone it down a little bit.
And I mean, I'm sure there are like corporate style jobs where, you know, like I know that there's people at corporate levels that they'll invite somebody out to lunch and they might have a martini or 2.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
And those things can happen, and a martini is pretty strong. I mean, it's mostly just liquor. So it's like, but, you know.
Or they're doing cocaine in their office, you know?
Yeah, that too. There's that too, absolutely. But those people usually have a lot more power than what I have. I'm a little guy.
Yeah, the place where I clean, they have white tables. So I'm like, yeah, there's probably a reason they made those tables white, you know?
You think so?
So they can blend it. So hey, this table, what the hell? There's a lot of residue on this
I would have made
table.
all my tables mirrors. The best part about sniffing cocaine off a mirror is you can see yourself do it.
That sounds like the worst part.
Nah.
That sounds like oh, fuck, that's
You haven't
me.
done
I'm
much-
doing this.
You haven't done much cocaine, have you?
I've never
sounds
done
like
cocaine.
Did we also talk one time about you've never tried ketamine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never tried ketamine. I've never tried coke.
You know, I wouldn't suggest it now necessarily. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
with all the
illegal,
fent and
first of all,
shit.
still. You could, exactly.
Yeah.
But you could possibly qualify.
So I've done the medical route with that. And I can't
we've
get it.
talked
Yeah,
about this.
I
Yep,
can't get
I
it. It
remember
sucks.
now.
It's bullshit, honestly.
Well, if you ever do find a good, well-tested source, I think ketamine could be very beneficial for you.
I've been looking into it. I've been interested in it. Cocaine, I took Focalin for like 2-3 months, and that's basically the medical form of cocaine.
Oh, okay.
And I hated it.
Focalin was weaker than 5-ants, isn't it?
I don't know about the strength, but it's like
look it up.
Like if you look in like the chemical molecular breakdown, it's like in the same family. Like it's very similar to cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
And I hated it. I hate how it made me feel. It really fucked up my stomach. You know, I take
Wait,
Adderall.
no, I really actually did want. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Well, just put in Focalin versus 5-ants. 5-ants is like VY, I think. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
I think I've had 5-ants. I don't remember.
Oh, I've had fucking 5-ants.
Focalin contains the active drug dexamite. God, I can't say that. Dexmedetomidine. God, I'm not a medical person. And 5-ants contain. Okay.
Phenidate. I don't know if I pronounced it
So
right.
5-ants is a amphetamine derivative probably, and then Focalin is more of a.
they both pretty much do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
They both get you fucking tweaking, bud. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I take Adderall, and like, I feel like that's like it's good for me. You know, my mood's up. I'm hyper focused. Like that works for me. I don't really because of that, I don't really see the reason to try cocaine. Everything I've heard about cocaine is like it's short lived. It's like you have to like do it constantly. It's not fun.
You don't necessarily have to, but you to really get the like. It's like if you did a line of coke.
Yeah.
The fucking big wave of it is gonna go away in like anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. The big wave.
Sure.
And then you might feel like you're sobered back up. But if you're actually sober and you saw this person go from sober to doing the line of blow, you would still notice effects. Like you're still gonna have that jabber jaw and shit like that for the next hour. So yes and no. It's like the same thing as drinking in that sense. You may have stopped drinking. It's been an hour now, so you feel sober. But if you blew, you would still blow either at the limit or fucking close to it.
Sure. You know what? Low key too. Like cokeheads are kind of fucking annoying. I won't lie. They just talk too damn much. I'm like, fuck. I feel like Adderall. You're not. I mean, I don't know. Like I can be talkative on Adderall, but usually I'm just like zoned in. But yeah, I've been around people when they do not even you necessarily, but like I've been around other people that do coke, and they just go off and off and off. I'm like, I don't care, dude.
I think Adderall these days would mellow me out. I think I would just sit here and
it is a really mellow. I feel like it's a more mellow drug.
I also have pretty fucking bad ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, bro, to actually get my schoolwork done back in the day, I would watch TV and listen to music.
You know, it'd be an interesting podcast idea for a live stream where we get Coleman to try all the drugs he's never tried, and we just live stream it.
Yeah, I'd be single by the end of it, but you know.
And maybe go to jail.
Yeah.
We'll do it in an undisclosed location where.
That's true, and we could film it in an undisclosed location.
You could film it from the hospital,
and then we could fucking yeah, for real, mixing all those drugs in the chat. That's it. This is gonna have to be like a week-long activity to make sure he doesn't fucking die, dude. But you know, ketamine is actually what caused me to. Ketamine brought me to a place that I started drinking significantly less, because when I started on this like ketamine binge of sorts, but I was more of like a microdose for it. Like I'd buy like a quarter gram and shit like that, while other people would buy like a whole 3.5, and they'd fucking be railing shit. But that's when I was drinking like at least a fifth every like 3 days.
Damn.
Like, I mean, I'm telling you. And it's what caused me to like not really want to do anything else. Like I didn't want to do blow anymore. I didn't want to trip acid anymore. I didn't want to trip on shrooms. Nothing like that. I didn't want to take any new drugs and try a new experience. And it caused me to quit drinking significantly less. I also stopped dabbing as much. But like it really like brought me to a level of where I was like, you know what? Sometimes lately I've been feeling like I could fucking use it again, because I fucking be going nuts in my noggin, dude.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I could trip again, like take LSD, but it's hard to get, and I never have the time for it either. Yeah, that's the thing. You need like at least 2 days, and I don't have 2 days ever to like do acid.
I mean, I don't think you necessarily need 2 days.
Sure, but like I don't know. I had days where like I would take acid and I'd go to work the next day, and I was just always crabby.
Oh yeah,
I was like in a moody, definitely crabby. I was like, because it uses all your serotonin, and then the next day you're like, ugh.
The best time to be able to do it is if you work like that morning style job. Like you go to work at 8 and you're off at like 4, and then you take acid at like 6 o'clock. So then you're fucking pretty much done with the trip by like 2 a.m. Maybe fall asleep at like 4, and if that's your day off, that's perfect.
Yeah. I remember I had days where, because I did like the morning job, I worked at a theater, and like I would get off work, and then like I'd be drinking whatever, staying up all late, and then I'd be like, oh shit, I work in 4 hours. Fuck it. And I would just pop an Adderall.
Do you ever just like that? See, there you go. That'll get you bounced back quick. You ever like try to cut a tab in half though?
No.
Because you don't want to trip as hard?
No, I've done like mellower trips, and I never liked it. I really hate sitting in that midway point where you're about there, but you just feel weird, and you're like, this kind of just fucking.
Nah, bro, I can't do that. Just in case something comes up.
Yeah, fair.
Like I don't want to be tripping my balls off, and then my boss call me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I have way too much. I feel like I have too much going on to do it. I would freak. I'd be like, fuck, why is she calling me? Why is she calling me? Shit.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
You ever go work on acid or shrooms?
Shrooms, yeah. When I worked in a factory.
Oh, that's easy.
Yep.
I
mean, it was easy-ish. I was a lead operator. But I mean, nobody fucking noticed. But also, like, I just wasn't that guy. I wasn't that guy that was like, I've done it before where I've gone balls to the wall, and I was like, whoa, that was way too much. I did not need to trip that fucking hard. Like, I don't always want to have an outer body experience for fucking 6 hours. So, like, I'd be with buddies, and we'd all grab, like, a 3.5 of shrooms.
Yeah.
And then they'd be over there like, okay, you guys ready? And eat the whole thing. And I'd be like, all right, you guys are tripping. And I'd, like, weigh up a gram and take that. Wait an hour and a half, see how I feel, and then maybe take more. But...
yeah, well, that's the smart way to take psychedelics. Like, I always, you can use it recreationally, but I always try to promote, like putting some medicinal element in it. Like, hey, I'm trying to use this, like, to improve my life in some way or have some kind of revelation, you know. I always promote that over just getting fucked up. But,
yeah,
either way, whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
that's why I wish they legally sold LSD, but,
yes.
like, in a form... like, you know what I'm saying? I've had, like, straight out of the vial before and then just absolutely tripped my fucking balls off.
Mm-hmm.
I am surprised I was capable of walking around. And then I've had wash acid before where I'm just vibing the whole time. It's like, nah, I don't feel sober, but I don't feel fucked up. Yeah. It's like my body tingles and I feel uplifted and my mind feels open. And I'm giggly, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the beginning of a trip before things get scary.
Yeah, I always hate wash.
That's my point that I like to be at. I'm just like, no, things still look extra vibrant and cool, but, like, you know, I don't feel like I have to smoke a bunch of weed. I don't feel like I need a drink. I don't feel like I have a care. But
yeah, I one of the things, and it's not bad. Like, I promote drug legalization, all that. But, one of the sad things about, like, this push for psilocybin is I feel like LSD is just getting lost in the dust, like, left behind, like nobody really talks about it, wanting it to be legalized. Like, there just seems to be this huge push for psilocybin and nobody cares about LSD. And I think that's sad.
LSD is derived from chemicals.
Yeah.
Whereas...
that's natural. I get that, but, like...
and mushrooms, too. Mushrooms are, like... more and more research just continues to come out on mushrooms and, like, the repairs that mushrooms in general, even ones that don't make you trip, can create for your body. Like,
I'm not trying to say that
pain and fucking nerve endings and shit like that. So I'm okay with that push.
Yeah, look, I'm not. At the end of the day, like, a push for any substance like that, I think is positive. Like, people are going to benefit from that, and if that gets, when that continues to get legalized, like, that's positive, right? I just wish that they had the same point of view for LSD. I understand that's a chemical, but there are plenty of chemicals we take in our body that are fine. The same concept can apply. Just do research on it, look at long term how it affects you. Like, you could do all those same things.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that research should stop on it by any means.
Oh yeah, no.
But like, if it's more of a push towards that, and then, like, LSD if you need it, I feel that. Or maybe we just find out the differences more and more about them in that case, and so maybe they're just same path. You know what I'm saying? Like, same dirt, you're heading the same direction, but there's a fork in the road.
Yeah.
But both of them lead to the same place.
Yeah, no, that's a fair analogy.
I don't know. My analogies are slow. It's fucking not even 11 a.m., brother. All right? I got a whole day of activities ahead of me, too.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck me, bro. Pedro's gone, so I'm taking care of Pedro's dogs, too.
Oh.
But he lives 2 floors above me, so that's a fucking big bonus.
Yeah.
That it's so close, nice. But holy shit, dude.
Yeah, you two are inseparable.
Yeah, I guess, bro.
Not to derail, but I wanted to ask you about this. What do you think about it? So next episode's coming out. We're gonna do a live stream reaction for the election. Gonna be a chill hangout. Gonna have Dirt Nasty Beats
next
back.
Episode.
Yep. So we're gonna have a good
That's
amount of time
insane
off.
how close the election is, bro.
It's like 2 weeks away, man.
Bro, I have seen I'm telling you, I have not seen close to the amount of presidential political ads that I've seen.
Oh my god!
In the rest of my fucking lifetime.
I swear, if I see another Zach Nunn ad, I'm gonna fucking punch a hole through it.
That Zach Nunn and then the guy that he's fucking versing, dude. Those fucking ads, I see them all the time on Hulu.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I'm so happy I finished out Lost. Because that shit makes me want to fucking freak.
You got a prediction? Who do you think's gonna Trump versus Kamala? Who do you think? Kamala, the camel.
If I don't know, I haven't looked at any of the polls or anything like that. I did watch. I don't know if they had a second debate. Did they?
Him and Kamala, no.
No. Okay,
No,
so off of the debate that they
that.
had, Trump was just acting like a fucking prime Trump.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
there were moments that were just straight up childish.
Yeah.
Like the what was it? The crowd size. And that was such a bait and switch for her. Like she literally just said that just to bait him, and he couldn't help himself. He's like, "Hey, my
she
crowd."
kept saying things to bait him into it because she
Yep.
wants to. And that's Trump has an issue with that. He acts like a
Yes.
fucking clown sometimes.
Yes.
And although I do think he is the much better decision politically, which kind of pains me to say,
I agree.
but I don't know. I think there's a very good chance that Kamala Harris wins this election.
Yeah, I do too.
And I think that over the next 2 years, it will show to be very beneficial for us. But then I think it will take us into a very large decline afterwards. Like, I think there is some things that she's going to do. But I mean, like, I don't know. When I saw this video that was talking about, as soon as she said that we're going to close up the border, and she, like, really put out her platform, I saw this video that was like, okay, so now I get it. This is why they wouldn't close the border. Because they brought all these people in, and now numerous amounts of illegals are going to vote. And they're obviously going to vote Democrat.
Yep.
I'm like, I think I believe that now. Like, it's just come to that point where I'm like, not necessarily. I'm not going to sit here and say that's fact, but I think it is a very, very likely scenario that I fell right into.
Oh, I think it's fact. I mean, they've been doing that since the 90s, dude. Like, that's a huge, like, if they and with all the DEI inclusion stuff, thrown in with that, like them bringing immigrants that fit that mold. Mm-hmm. It's like the idea of, like, if you let somebody, you give somebody that favor, right? They're obviously going to vote for you. Like, oh, look what they did for me. They let me into this country. So yeah, I'm going to go vote. It's like, it's logical, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course they're doing that.
But I mean, in decades before this, they've really always aimed at the black community.
Yes. And
like, we're here to help the people. We're here to help the people that are in this situation or that situation. And they're like, so that's why they've always held a large amount of the black vote. But now
it's reversed.
Black America is kind of woken up. Well, they did 4 years of Trump, and then we did 4 years of Biden, and they're like, yo, we don't think Trump was that bad anymore. I mean, it's the same boat I fell into. We were all like, the entire black community pretty much was like, holy fuck, dude. Trump just became president. This is about to be some shit. And I mean, even with him as president, and I've said it before about how I think he opened up a lot of doors with the way he speaks for racist people to act out. But even with that, it was much better.
I agree. Buster, look this up because the amount of black support for Trump, because just look up that, because what I heard is that this is the Republican with the most black support, like in history. Or what? Black voters support Harris over Trump.
That's on what? Pew Research Center?
I don't believe that.
Who the fuck is that?
See, and that's the problem with this, right? Is the corporate press is gonna they're gonna lie.
This is Reuters.
Okay, yeah, that's more credible in my opinion. 1 in 4 U.S. black men under 50 support Trump for president in a NAACP poll.
High average.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot of blacks.
Blacks. They might save us. No.
I mean, hopefully, dude.
Well,
trust me, if you're black,
yeah,
and you're like, who's gonna? I to be fair, I don't think either one of these candidates is going to do anything that specifically benefits the black community.
I agree.
I want to say that neither one of them, I'm repeating it for everybody listening, neither one is going to do anything to specifically help the black community. Maybe some small things, but neither one of them is going to make a large step. But overall, for the American people, who is going to be the clown in the Oval Office making the decisions that is likely going to benefit all of us?
Probably Trump.
Most likely Trump.
And this is a point that I heard too, is like there's something that's like, so I think it was a clip from The View. There's something so disingenuous about this Democratic, elite or whatever, right? Is they pushed, like, I think it was Coleman Hughes on The View. He was talking about how, because he's against all the DEI stuff, and he's a black man. And he was talking about, like, instead of, like, focusing just on black people, we can just focus on everyone. How about, focusing on class, right? Which also helps black people.
Yeah.
And then, but, like, they like, went against them. They were like, but, black people, like, it's so obvious that they're trying to push this DEI narrative because it helps them and only them. And, going back to, like, the border
There's
stuff.
a lot of black people, though. Like, there's a lot of, like, heads of the black community that do that shit, too. And, like...
Sure.
It's something that really fucking drives me nuts. It always has to be about helping black.
Yeah, specifically black.
There's it, and let's take the white out of it, right? Take the whites out. There's other minorities here.
Yes.
Other minorities that have been here for a very long time. At once, people from Ireland even came over here and they were used as slaves. A lot of Asians were here, used as slaves. They were a part of the slave trade. They just were not, like they didn't hold as much significance.
Yeah.
There wasn't near as many people, but there was a lot. I mean, like, they talk about the railroads, and like they're always like, well, we built those railroads.
Nah,
a lot of us did. A lot of us did, yeah.
Yeah.
But so did people that were Irish, and so did the Asians. It's like, and so that shit, as somebody who's mixed, as somebody who's black and white and truly does not give a fuck what your background is ethnically, I don't care. It's like, we have to focus on more than that.
I agree.
We have to focus on more than that. It just continues separation. But I think those are ideas, when you notice people with those ideas usually fall to be Democratic. And the Democratic Party is clearly, they just hide it under the guise that they're not trying to separate us.
I agree. I think, no disrespect to him, but like MLK was a socialist. He was really pro-government, and I think a lot of that same class of people follows in those footsteps. And I can understand like the emotion behind it, where you like this group of people is clearly discriminated against. We need to support them, all that. But I mean, it's stupid in that there's a reason that the government talks about MLK and not Malcolm X. It's like Malcolm X was way more of that like libertarian-esque, Republican-esque, like, hey, we don't need the government. We can do it ourselves.
He was much more Martin Luther King Jr. was a dreamer.
Yeah.
That's how I liked it. And Malcolm X was more like
a realist.
Yeah. And that is, I think, the perfect difference between them. I think they're both great. I think they're both fantastic. Yeah. But like MLK lined himself up in a position to get killed in the way he got killed. He was absolutely assassinated.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and by the government, most likely the Democratic Party. Because they're like, yo, we can use this guy to get us more votes, right? Mm-hmm. And then whenever we feel like we might be in danger and need more votes, we can kill him. And then that's going to give us more votes because it's going to be a white man that killed him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I'm sure that that government, the FBI, CIA, whatever, like They're the same institution, right? And now in 2024, now they're preaching all this DEI stuff, and they're like, "Oh, hey, we support black people." And it's like you killed MLK. You know, like you don't give a fuck about black people. Let's go back to like the immigration thing, right? Like, with the Democrats, like they're gonna have this preachy. You know, Harris is gonna be like, "We're gonna seal the border now." And it's like when her administration like purposely created the problem, like, and this is what they do all the time. They create the problems, and then they let time pass, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to solve this problem that we created."
Not that I don't think that the Republican Party does the same thing.
No, yeah, of course.
But I think that the Democratic Party does that much, much more. I think it's like their whole game plan. It's like destroying shit just to come back and be like, hey, we're the ones who fixed this issue. Because it's like a good comment versus a bad comment. You know what I mean? When they fix the bad issue, they're like, yo, this is what's wrong. We're going to fix it. That's what everybody's worried about now. You know, somebody leaves a bad review on your page, and they're like, this is what happened to me. How are you going to solve the issue? You solve that issue, and you make them happy.
That's it.
They're with you now. They're like, you know what? This is what happened to me. Very bad situation, and they fixed it for me. Everybody should support these people. That's how people act with a fucking restaurant. I mean, bottom scale, right? Bottom scale when we're talking about a fucking restaurant up to our country's government. They realize that. They're like, yo, socially, this is how human beings in America typically react to these things.
It's psychology.
But they didn't talk. But those people now that support this company because they fixed that one bad issue for them, that one thing that made them very unhappy, they're the ones who caused it in the first place. They're the ones who allowed that to happen. You know, It's like, what, like...
yeah, I mean, look, I guess at the end of the day, here's the difference between the Republicans and like in terms of the party, the Republicans and Democrats, is like the Republicans. I mean, they're both shitty, but the Republicans, you know how they're very transparent with how they're shitty, right? They're like, we don't like abortion. It was like that's fucked up, right? But like, but
Which
then
it's not fucked up, by the way, to not like abortion.
Sure.
I'm just saying, I think that people should be allowed to get abortions, but it's not fucked up.
No, I agree. But I think but like they're transparent, right? Like when Trump is shitty, you know he's shitty, right?
Yes,
but
he's very genuine.
But the Democrats, like, they put on this front that they're the good guys, but they're not. And I find that so much more disingenuous. Just at face value.
They are. That's the thing that pushes me towards Trump. It's like, okay, this guy's a piece of shit, right? But he's like, he'll be like, I'm not a piece of shit, but then he says some piece of shit stuff. It's like, okay, see, look, this guy is proving who he is every moment that you give him a chance to fucking speak in front of people. Like, I can clearly tell that Trump has at least a little bit of racism in him.
Sure.
Right? I don't think he just hates every black person or every person of a different ethnicity, but I do think he definitely likes white people more. All right? And he definitely likes people with money more than anybody else. It's nice that I can see that, though.
Yeah.
I find a comforting factor in, like, yo, this is the same piece of shit he's always been. This dude since 2016 has not skipped a fucking beat, dude. He's never fucking switched up. But then Kamala, you know, you get online, you do some research, right? And you don't have to watch some collage video that somebody made on TikTok. You can actually watch the moments in which she said these things live on TV, and then you fast forward 4 years later, and it's completely reversed.
Yes.
What is she? Now you have the questions of what is she hiding? Who really is this lady?
Well, look at her prosecution record.
Exactly.
It's awful. Right? It's like inhumane.
Even with
done.
that, though, if you asked her the question of why is your prosecution record like this, right?
Because she wants power.
Her answer will be disingenuous. It will be this back and forth, and like, if you're really paying attention, you'll be like, okay, what you said was good, but it didn't really answer the question.
I will say she is the most impressive I've ever seen him not answering a question. I don't think I've ever seen a politician not answer questions like
That's
she does.
why I think there's a very good chance that she will win. When you think about, we want the power as this party, so we have to find somebody. Like, who are these people that choose the Democratic frontrunner? Who are they?
The elite.
Exactly, right? Nobody. Same with Republicans. You're like, who? That shit, that just threw me off of what else I was going to say.
Yeah. But
I want to know who those people are right now.
Exactly.
She's from a middle-class family, and her first job was at McDonald's.
No, that's actually a lie. I was listening to a podcast. She has never had a private sector job. It has always been in government.
But she's a hardworking middle-class American.
Wait a minute.
That's not true.
Wait a minute.
And she grew up in Canada.
Did she actually grow up in Canada?
She grew up in Canada. Look that up.
Are these facts?
This is off a podcast. I didn't do the correct research afterwards, so maybe it's bullshit. But you know, the time we live in, the corporate press is going to put out their own story, so it's just gonna muffle it up. Like the USA Today, they're not going to give an accurate fucking. Yeah, so she was born in California, like that's like so she is born American. But I'm pretty sure she did. Yeah, see, they just glossed over that whole. They jumped from her birth to college. They didn't even mention where she grew up.
We're about to find this out.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This is what they do. They just like Kamala Harris. They don't answer the question. And look, I guess here's how I feel at the end of the day between these two. I feel like this is the establishment versus Trump. And I really just truly don't think the establishment is going to let Trump win. I don't think this is going to be like a quote unquote, not that this has ever been, but like I don't think this is going to be a free and fair election. Like she's going to win because the establishment wants her to win. And that's going to create violence and unrest.
Good, bro. Like, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
When you're thinking about, if you're thinking like the way we think, these things are corrupted. They obviously are to us, but not to other people. So when you think about it, like, we need to find somebody who can trick all these people to helping us win this election so Trump loses. Kamala Harris was fucking perfect, dude. She did exactly what she needed to do in that debate to win over a lot of undecided voters. A lot, bro. She made Trump look like a fool by doing exactly what you said, dude. Mm-hmm. She just baited him.
Yep.
That's it. She baited him, and he fell right into the trap being his clown. Somebody need to put an earpiece on him of, like, whoever he's most likely to listen to. Like, don't fucking do it, dude. Don't fucking say it. Somebody needs to be in his ear like, dude, if you fucking say this shit that you're thinking about saying, I'm going to whoop your fucking ass, dude.
Yeah. And, I guess at the end of the day, I think it's, for a lot of regular people, it's far easier to put, like, I guess just think of this. Like, think if you're Trump. Put yourself in Trump's shoes, and you're trying to run for president. The greatest
country. Really the only country. I mean, all these other countries, they're not even countries.
No, but really, like think like you, regular Joe, wanting to get a position in government or whatever, and think about yourself in that position where the establishment is against you. That sucks. Like people feel that. Like when we have all this inflation and shit's expensive, like we feel like the establishment's against us. And this is a direct representation of that. And I just don't think the establishment's going to let that happen. They're not going to let him win. And that's going to look, it's going to be bad either way.
J6 all over again, dude.
I hope not. I fucking hope not.
Why not?
Because it just gives the government more power at the end of the day.
Yeah, I do feel that. I understand that.
I think protesting against your government is good. Like, I think, like, people should be armed to fight against the government. I agree with that. But, like, I also don't promote violence at the end of the day. I think using peaceful methods and just acknowledge, like, there are countries where the government's there, but, like, they're not really that powerful, so people just kind of...
Honestly, though, I do think when you really look back at J6, the violence, like the true violence, is kind of like it's pushed.
Yeah.
You know, like they pushed a little bit extra. Because think about how many people were actually there and how many people got hurt and how they got hurt. Like how many people got beat to death.
Mm-hmm.
Trampled, still terrible, completely different.
Well, one lady got shot by security.
I mean, yeah, that happens. See, when I think of violence, I don't think of that as necessarily violence. I do think of it as a bad situation, but I think of violence as more of like yo, I'm going to hit this guy.
Sure.
As far as, so maybe she was being violent, maybe not. I don't know the situation in full. But as far as her getting shot, sounds more like a defense to violence. You know what I mean?
No.
I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, I shot somebody and then consider that violence, especially if that person was attacking you.
Yeah, but I mean, you're also defending like the like. Here's the thing: like the Capitol is built on and funded by stolen money. Mm-hmm. So in a sense, like it's not like you're not like really trespassing on private property. But I mean, and look, I think like more Trump's people got hurt than like the people that work there. Like none of the government officials got hurt. Like, you know, none of the cops or security guards I don't think got hurt. I think it was all civilians. And you know, 98% of them just walked in and just like they were like doing a tour. They were like, "Oh, look at all the at all the White House stuff." Or like they were like, you know, what was the guy that like went in Nancy Pelosi's desk? Like that's not violent. That's like, and that is by no means a reason to put somebody in prison for 10, 20 years. Like these old, like diabetic women who like went to the fucking Capitol and are rotting. Yeah, it's so fucked up.
You know, we talked about this when we had old Dirt Nasty on here who wouldn't let me finish.
Dude, that's going to be epic.
But I really, something I truly love about January 6th, though, about when all that shit went down, is that the people, regardless of what side they land on, they're American citizens, so they do still qualify as the people, proved a point to the government. Like, yo, there's enough of us. Yeah. Where if we try, we don't have to have weapons. We don't have to have riot shields. We don't have to have bulletproof vests and a bunch of gear like that. We can take over this building. This is our building. We own this. We're allowed to be here. You know what I mean? It was like oppressive. Like, that's not even a quarter of us. That's not even an eighth of we the people. All right, so if we all got on the same page, if we were all on the same page and we were like, yo, no, you did it wrong. This isn't what we want. This is what we want. I think it sends a huge message to the government of like, yo. I
agree.
Yo, we gotta, like, we're meddling too much. These people are starting to realize shit. And like, it would likely cause them to push harder in other areas. Okay, we need to do more of this or we need to do more of that. But in those cases too, it's like, motherfucker, if we all go, a lot of us might die. Yeah. A lot of us. But we're gonna win. No matter what you use. Use the whole United States military if you want to. The entirety of them wouldn't even follow the government in that case. If they were killing American citizens, the entirety of the fucking U.S. Army.
You'd be surprised, honestly.
I don't think I would be surprised at all. What would surprise me? Like, you think the entirety of the U.S. military
would turn on its own people?
Yeah.
I don't know about the entirety, but enough. A majority of them to wipe them the fuck out.
I don't think it would. No. Not enough to wipe us out. If they wipe us out, they don't have anything. What are you talking about? How are they going to get paid?
Well, they could import from other countries.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then you no longer have America.
Yeah, but they don't care because they have power. That's all they care about.
Our country ceased to exist at that point. They definitely care about keeping our country. Because if they start killing...
I don't believe
if that. America starts killing their own people, especially with the military, we are going to get attacked.
No, the Soviet Union did that. The Soviet Union did that. And they got attacked by Germany, but that was because
they had a conflict. Nobody was fucking with them at that point. We are the U.S. We're not the Soviet Union nearly 100 fucking years ago. We're the USA today.
Yeah.
With people like China that we constantly talk shit about, but then fucking let them import all their shit here and buy land while constantly talking shit about them. India doesn't really fuck with us anymore. Iran definitely doesn't fuck with us. Russia doesn't fuck with us. If we were in such turmoil that we were killing our own people with United States troops, shit's gonna get really bad really fast. Like, if I was another country, I would nearly instantly attack us. I would instantly at least be preparing.
100%.
Yeah, that
Buster,
is fair.
let's
That
hear
is
your
fair.
opinion on that.
That's a fair point. All right, Buster's opinion. Turn your mic up, Buster.
Which part?
Which part? How about if like something happened again and a very large amount of United States people decided to storm and say they were taking over the Capitol and let's say even the White House, and they started using U.S. military troops to kill American citizens.
Okay, here's where I would like to start with this. I think that I would say probably about like 30% would probably stay the fanatics, the egomaniacal people who think that they're going to get promoted by doing what's right for America's interests, which in their mind would be somehow motivated by killing Americans. I would say there'd be about like 30% of those crazies who, you know, they feel like they're a superhero with a gun. That's the only reason they joined the army was to kill people, but not to, like, you know, be a fellow countryman and fight for people's rights and stuff.
30%.
Yeah, I think it'd be about 30%.
I think it'd be higher.
I don't think it'd be much higher than
But
that.
I
because
think you would also probably add on another percentage of people that do stick around, and not because they necessarily felt that way, but because they feel like they're following orders. Even if it adds up to 50%.
Well, that's how they operate, by orders. I mean, look at COVID. Look at how many cops like shut down businesses and took people's livelihoods away because of COVID, which was like fucking bullshit.
I think
doesn't take
I
much.
think the police would be a much bigger issue than the U.S. military for us. I think police officers are much more brainwashed than.
There's still a few more steps between shutting down a business and actually putting a bullet in your fucking your fellow American's head. You know what I mean?
Sure, but
there's a lot more steps. Like,
sure, but I mean, it's a slippery slope. I mean, once you started that, it could happen.
I know a
will
lot of
happen.
people that are either in law enforcement or have been in law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that are either in the military or have been in the military.
Mm-hmm.
I would trust the people in the military long before I would trust a cop in these situations.
I mean, a lot of times
Long
those cops
before.
are.
100%.
A lot of those cops are ex-military, though.
Yeah, but they're cops now.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a difference. Sorry, Buster. Go ahead.
Oh, and then the second part was I definitely 100% do believe if there was a internal conflict in America that somebody is going to attack almost maybe not immediately, but like it would be within their best interest to attack us.
100%. It's the only time to do it. It is the only time and the absolute best time.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I mean, I think governments have learned over the years it's far better to, you know, gain power by brainwashing the people versus being violent.
100%. And we're talking about breaking out of that brainwash.
Yeah.
We're talking about a situation where we're like, when we the people are like, no, you've been trying to brainwash us for decades, and it fucking worked. And now we realize what you did. Mm-hmm. And so now it's time to answer. We're taking this shit back over. No more media coverage. No more electoral college bullshit.
Yeah.
We the people are going to vote for our president. You're going to count these votes correctly because that's what we pay you to fucking do.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bad situation. Let me chill before they come for me. They're about to be knocking at my door. They're going to be like...
Well, that is kind of I think that would be the silver lining if Harris won. Is like it would be a step closer to the public waking up and being like, okay, this is bullshit. But it would also come at the cost of a lot of, you know, lives lost, you know, higher taxes, livelihoods ruined. Like those things are going to happen before that happens, and that's scary. So I think two things is going to happen. Trump's going to win and everybody's going to be mad, or Harris is going to win and everybody's lives are going to get worse. And they'll get worse in some ways over Trump too.
There's going to be a lot of mad people if fucking Harris wins. There's going to be a lot of people that are mad.
Yeah, but the establishment will tell you that it's okay. Like all the media coverage will tell you it's okay, and that's going to calm a significant amount of the population.
I mean, not all of it, but a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of it for sure.
I think what was that I heard? They did a poll recently on how the Americans felt about the legitimacy of the media. I think 25% said it's complete bullshit. Another 40% that said it's kind of. But there's still a 33% that were the media is completely honest and completely truthful. People are just retarded, dude. There's always going to be a significant percent of the population that's just straight up retarded.
Yeah. I do think we're breaking away from that with a lot of things, though. Yes, I think social media.
Yes.
I used to think, huge. I dead ass used to think that social media would be our downfall.
It still is.
In a sense.
In a sense,
yes. But I think things like the internet, social media.
Yes.
Maybe our upbringing.
They reveal more truth than the corporate media.
Maybe a part of our fucking new beginning, dude. I mean, I am completely willing to die for this country if that's the factor that I believe that we're fighting towards and for. The shittiest part, though, is even if we, the people, were to fight, and let's say we did fall into a civil war and we didn't get attacked, we took back over our country and we changed a bunch of things, I do believe that 30, 40, 50 years down the line, we kind of start to fall into the same plot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a cycle. Governments. Yeah. I mean, people reject their government, and then they fall, and then they create a new government. That happens.
And that's why I'm going to keep drinking beer.
Hey, it's not a bad argument, man. All right. I know you need to get going, so let's wrap this up.
Peace out, bitches.
Peace out, cunts.